You want to know a hack to get insurance to cover your GLP-1 prescriptions? Here's the truth. Most people get denied the first time that they try, and insurance companies are betting that you're just going to give up. But you do have rights, and you can appeal not just once, but multiple times. The problem is the process is confusing and it's time consuming, and a lot of providers just don't have the bandwidth to be able to fight through it with you. So that's why I partnered with Claimable. It's an easy to use tool that helps you build expert backed appeals proven to work. So don't give up on your shot at coverage. Exhaust your appeals. Go to getclaimable.com/plus sides to learn more and use code plus sides with a Z to save.
Some deeper questions though. Someone made a joke recently that they were like, if you're 400 pounds and you need to lose weight on a GLP-1, don't worry about muscle mass right now. You have a lot of fat to lose. And it got me wondering, I mean, I don't think it was anybody, but it got me wondering, like, in terms of muscle mass, do you need the same amount of muscle mass when you're in a smaller body that you need in a bigger body? Like, because I'm like, because I don't know about it, right? Like, I'm thinking like you have like, I feel like more muscles to carry yourself around, right? In this bigger body. Do you need the same amount when you're in a smaller body?
I love this. Can I just offer something? And I'll keep talking
Yeah.
all day long. So like you can
Oh,
find
sure.
me and
It's
like,
okay.
so I want to offer this. Individuals who have had to carry around more weight, this is a
Hmm.
body positivity thing.
Hmm.
You actually are going to be blessed with an increased amount of lean mass.
Mm,
So whether you need it or not, why don't you
mm.
just keep it? Because then
Sure.
you're going to have like some guns, you're going to have like some amazing muscles. Your VO2 max, your ability to like hike a mountain is going to be out of this world. So
Oh.
I don't know if you need it, but why not keep it?
Okay, I like that. I like that.
I like
I
Might
that.
as
agree.
well keep
Keep
it.
it.
I'm all about mind shifting. Like, I just love that kind of thing.
You
Like,
know, the way it makes me
yeah.
think is I guess that it's a comment or a question, or would be a comment. I was, over 300 pounds at one point in time, but I always loved fitness. And I just think to myself, like, wow, how much muscle is true. You know how like when you have this popular misconception, if you're heavy, you can't move. If you're heavy, you're not limber.
Mhm.
Honey. Like
Yeah,
I could smoke you in class.
for
But
sure.
Mhm.
that's interesting. So I guess at the same time, and this might go into the deeper questions, like how does that affect you? You know how like when you have insulin resistance, it's working in your body right now, but I'm still like so diet culturing and working out like a nut bar. Like, is
Nut
that
bar.
I was telling myself, does it combat any sort of insulin resistance at all, or was just fooling myself?
No, it definitely does. So
Okay.
actually, the more muscle you have, the more insulin sensitivity you're going to have.
Okay. Oh,
So, in other
Wow.
words, it's the idea of, okay, this is how I like to explain it because I like to simplify everything. So, imagine you have a lot of muscle mass and you go ahead and you do a strength training routine. Okay. So,
mhm,
you're using up all the glycogen stores and all your muscles. Okay.
mhm.
So, let's say now you finished your workout, it's time to eat. So, you're going to eat a meal, but you already got rid of all the glycogen stores in your muscles. So, what happens is you eat a meal and you're going to have some insulin response with your meal. So insulin is going to be it's a storage hormone, right? So the
Yeah.
first thing it's going to do, it's going to push all the substrate, all the food, the glycogen and all the good stuff back into your muscles. So the more muscle you have, right? So if you have this huge pool of muscle to bring in all of that substrate, you're not going to have a whole lot hanging out to go back into the adipose tissue. Okay,
Hmm.
so in
Right.
other words, what happens over time is that you're going to need less insulin to do the same job. And that's the whole idea behind
Hmm.
insulin resistance. You need a whole lot more insulin to do the same job. And
Mhm.
insulin is going to be inflammatory, it's a fat storage hormone. So, actually, one of the best ways to improve insulin sensitivity is going to actually be strength training and gaining lean muscle mass.
Mm.
Ah.
Guys, the other thing that no one's asking, but I feel like we need Ellie to talk on, it's
Okay,
so
yeah.
people might think, okay, I'm coming from a larger body, I'm losing
Yeah.
weight, no big deal, I'll lose some muscle as I'm doing it. Like you said, Kim, right? Like,
Yeah.
what's the big deal? But when you know how hard it is to gain muscle, like Ellie, can you talk about those numbers again?
Oh,
Like,
yeah. That'd be
like
great.
let's say that you lost 20 pounds of muscle this year, you lost 100 pounds and 20 pounds of it was muscle, right? Like, how long would it take you to put it back on? Because I think that gives you perspective of why you need
Yes.
to be fanatic about eating your protein and doing strength training and keeping it.
Yeah.
A
Love that.
100%. And so this is really interesting. And so a lot of times when individuals will say, well, I'm on the med and like I'm not losing anything. If you actually ask them sometimes, like, okay, listen, like, have you done a body comp?
Mhm.
Because as Dr. Rentia is saying, the idea is that to lose muscle mass is actually kind of easy. It's
Wow.
actually pretty darn easy. Gaining muscle, if you are a woman over the age of 30,
Mhm.
and particularly if you don't have just the right body type, Dr. Rentia actually
Mhm.
has like, she's like bionic. She
Yeah.
has like the perfect body type to gain muscle and she puts the work in. So
Yes,
that's why
ma'am.
she's having like ridiculous results. But the idea is that to lose muscle is not hard, to gain it is very difficult because many of us don't have the body type that's actually going to put the muscle on naturally. So it has to be a mesomorph muscular body type is going to be the easiest body type. And here's the other part, and this is another body positivity thing. If you are in a larger body, having a little bit higher of a body fat percentage is also going to help you gain muscle in the beginning. Okay. So the advantage points would be, if you are carrying some additional body fat, now's the perfect time to do some strength training because you're going to be at an advantage to actually gain muscle.
Mm.
And so then as you lose weight, right, potentially, we expect some muscle loss, which again, if you are strength training 10 minutes, 3 days a week, and if you are eating 100 grams of protein, right,
Mhm.
we can probably keep that 10% or less, which is what we allow. If you do that, you will preserve your basal metabolic rate. Okay, so you're going to continue to lose body fat. And then the other part of this is, eventually, because you'll have that good basal metabolic rate, if you are eventually in a place where you're like, okay, I lost all the weight I want to,
Mhm.
I'd like to do a little body recomp right now. I'd like to
Mhm.
actually gain some muscle. You're still in a position where you're metabolically active and you're going to be able to feed yourself in a way that's going to promote more of a building of the muscle. But to do that, I'll say this, even with the ideal body type, a muscular body type with enough body fat and eating enough food to make this happen, the average woman over the age of 30, maybe they can gain 6 pounds of muscle in a year.
Wow.
Mm.
6 pounds.
Wow.
Muscle.
I can see that.
Wow.
I'm not talking about like a CrossFit athlete who has professional coaches that are training them and they're taking all the supplements and they are eating in a
Yeah.
massive surplus. I'm talking about the average woman who
Right.
is fit and goes to the gym and
Yeah.
you're doing your best with your protein. You're listening to the people. It's not your full-time job though. So
Yeah.
that average person, if they're really putting the effort in, about 6 pounds.
Month to month, box to box. This is how we live in the GLP-1 community. We never know when our coverage is going to get yanked from underneath us. Last year, it got yanked out from underneath me, and I had to go the compound route. I had to go to a telehealth. And what alleviated that financial burden a little bit for me was using my HSA card. I went to the hsastore.com to look for some electrolytes. ShedRx is there. ShedRx, the telehealth, is HSA approved and FSA approved. Ah! So I'm going to ShedRx, right? And I'm going to use my HSA, which alleviates a huge financial burden for me. And if you're interested as well, go to shedrx.com. They'll take great care of you. They've got fantastic doctors. And you can use the link down below in our link tree, or just go to shedrx.com and use my code CAT50. Get your $50 off your first month.